on the Brookwood Town Council.
He also works at Golden.
And he works at the coal mines, and he's our neighbor. And our friend, so hey, you're really going to video this?
Yes. Merry Christmas.
That will be on the trip page. Anyway, he is here to talk about Requirement 5 in your Boy Scout handbooks is what it means as a U.S. citizen, rights and responsibilities. So he's going to talk about that a little bit. He's going to talk to y'all, okay? If I recall right, in your little Scout oath, it says that your Scout is loyal, helpful. Part of what you're going to be helpful is by listening and talking back to him when he asks you questions, okay? Because it's no fun to just sit and yammer. Just to make sure we're not going to tap, we're not going to throw balls, okay? We're going to be really good, okay? Just to make sure, just run everybody by. Connor, Chris, Aaron, Aubrey, Max, and Casper. Okay, so it's all yours.
All mine.
By the way, one more thing. Page 70, no, 82, I think. Yeah, 82. A visit with a community leader in your Scout books. There's information that needs to be filled out while he is here.
71.
82. You may need a pen. Be prepared.
Someone's somewhere down here. Wow, this is really early.
That's changed. Okay, guys. So Miss Mary asked me to come and talk to y'all a little bit about what it means to be a good U.S. citizen. And I tell you, when I listen to y'all do your pledge and do your, what's the name of your scout?
Scout oath.
If you would just put those things into practice, I can guarantee you would be a good citizen. Because everything else said met all the requirements it takes to be a good citizen. When Mary asked me to do this, it was interesting to me. And so all my guys at work and stuff like that, I got to ask them the same thing. They'd be up there working. That's what I said, okay, guys. In your opinion, what's it take to be a good citizen? And I really got a lot of different answers. But before I was going to tell y'all what they said, I was going to get some of y'all to tell me what y'all think a good citizen is. Aaron, what do you think? That's right. What do you think?
To hope their country and state and community whenever it can or it's necessary.
Okay, that's two big important things you do when you can and when it's necessary. When you can, that means you do it because you want to. When it's necessary, that means it's when you have to. And but sometimes when it really tells what kind of citizen you can be is when you step up when things can be tough. So that's a really good point. Anybody else? What do you think?
Means that you would have to
Exactly right. That's one of the things I got written down there. Is one of the people told me today that one of the important things about being a good citizen is that you obey. You obey the law and try to do what's right in the community. Another thing that somebody told me today was that you be kind to others. Now to me, that's just something that you just do because you're supposed to. That's just the right thing to do is you're kind to other people. Nobody else is smart. Y'all figure that out. One guy pointed out to me, I thought was really, really neat. He said one of the most important things we can be if we want to be a good citizen is that we're patriotic. Does anybody know what that word means? Exactly right. You're proud of your country, you love your country, and you respect your country. So being patriotic is one of the most important things we can be to be a good citizen of this country. There's a lot of things we do to show our patriotism in this country. One of them is being thankful for the freedoms that being patriotic gives us.
And we do that a lot through the year. Can y'all think of things we do through the year that show patriotism? Good. Pledge of Allegiance. That's a good thing. Yeah, 4th of July. That's a big holiday. Okay, why do we celebrate the 4th of July? What does that mean? We decide. That's right. Exactly right. What other holidays do we have that sort of that are patriotic holidays? What's Memorial Day? Which veterans?
Ones that died.
That's exactly right. That's the big difference between Memorial Day and there's another holiday.
It's in November. It's in November.
No.
Thanksgiving.
No, before Thanksgiving.
It's always on November the 11th. No matter every year, it's the same day. That's true. We're talking about Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a holiday that we honor everybody who served in the military. Memorial Day is the day that we honor everybody who died serving in the military. So those are, you'll be surprised. Some people don't know. Somebody said that's the day that you open your swimming pool. So, but now these holidays have a meaning, and that's what those holidays mean.
Thanksgiving.
Tell me what Thanksgiving
It's a day that we give thanks for letting our God let us live
is. So this country. That's right. What other things do we do that shows that we're good citizens? Somebody said something about a little song about taking care of things and cleaning things up. I think that especially since we're scouts, that if we take care of our environment, because most scouts that I know, they like to be outside. They like to camp, they like fishing, they like to get out in the woods. So it's important that we enjoy those kind of things, that we take care of our environment. And that's something that we do, even if you listen and watch the news. You ever heard them talk about the Keystone Pipeline? That's a big pipeline that's running from Alaska all the way down to, I think down toward Louisiana. And some people don't like it because they're afraid it's going to hurt the environment. Other people like it because they think it's going to create jobs and make our country, able to stand on its own feet more. So, as being a good citizen, those are the kind of things you need to know. But, why our country does things like that. And why some people like it, some people don't. And as you get older, you can have those same opinions. Because we have another great thing as a citizen, there's a right we have as a citizen. And that's that we have the right for freedom of speech. And if we have an opinion, and we're respectful of our opinion, we can say it. And without the fear of shot or fussed at or abused or persecuted or anything like that. So that is a great right that we have as a citizen of this country, to be able to have the freedom of speech. But I still think it needs to be done in the right way. You still have to be respectful, even with that freedom. There's something else that we have that a lot of people, it's odd, a lot of people don't take advantage of this, but I think one of the greatest privileges we have is as a citizen of this country. And as you get older, and when you become, 18 years old, you get to have this privilege. You get to vote. Would you believe that a lot of people don't vote? They don't, to me, I think I can still remember the very first time I ever voted. I thought it was a really, really cool thing that I got to say is what was going on in our country. And I think that's something that you guys get older, that you'll really, really appreciate doing. It's a right, it's also a privilege. But only 60% of the people who are ready to vote actually do. And the other 40% either they don't have time, or they just don't think about it, or they just don't care. And I don't want any of you guys to be like that. I want you to care about your country and have enough thought about it to go out and vote. Use that right. It's a great thing to do. Oh, like a little sticker they always give you. When you go vote, they'll give you a little sticker, you can wear it all day long. It says, I voted. I always wear mine. I think it's pretty cool. What's another thing you do? Is there anything else you think, anything that we do? I bet some of your mom and dads do it too, every single day. That's right. They go to work, don't they? And when mom and dad go to work, what happens with their paycheck? Yeah, that's it. Oh,
You have me knows. I get to give it away.
that's right. We pay taxes. And we pay taxes to help our country grow. And so that we can have things like, police protection, fire protection, and those types of things. Because it's not free. Somebody has to pay for it. So if we work and we pay our taxes, that's another way of being a good citizen. Some people don't like to pay their taxes, but still, yeah, that's another story for another day. That's right. Somebody said something about knowing what's going on in your community. I think that was you here. Know what's going on in your community. And you should. And you can do that in a bunch of different ways. You can do like, I think Miss Mary told me that y'all were going to try to come to a council meeting one time. I think that's part of one of your requirements. I'm in the Brookwood City Council. I've been on for a lot of years. There are lots of times we go to meetings, there's nobody there with us. Which means if we want to, we can smack do what we want. Right? Because there's nobody there to hold us accountable. Part of being a good citizen, sometimes you need to come to those meetings and see what's going on. Make sure that people like me and other council people they're spending that money properly. A lot of times, nobody shows up. We're just that.
Do you know, for years, I didn't know that you could.
Really?
I had no idea. I had no idea that anybody could go to a council meeting. I thought it was just for the council. But it's a council meeting.
And yet, they can be boring. But you need to get involved in your community. And you can do that, like, come to meetings like that, in your church. Churches are involved in the community. It's very important that you do that.
Telling Catholic, by the way, school, they're garbage.
I got wrong with that. You need to know who the leaders in your community are. I mean, I'm one of them, but there's 5 others too. And you need to know who those people are. So if you need to know something or you need to ask them something, you have the right to do that. If you've got a question, they need to listen to you. And not just like in our community, you need to know who the communities are in your county, in your state. Who knows who the governor is? Who is it? That's right. Robert Benson. That's good. You know who our state senator is?
Yeah.
I bet you our state senator, for around here that represents us. And he lives, about 10 miles from here. Gerald Abbott. See, so you need to know these people. And if you see them someplace, don't be afraid to speak to them. Well, they're part of their job is to listen to you. So remember that. Know who these people are. One day you might just be one of those people. Never know. Let me tell you all a little story about me. When I decided to get involved, in government, like I am, which is not a big thing, but still it is. When I was about 25, 26 years old, I had this guy from the mayor then. He asked me if I would be on their park board in Brookwood. And me and my wife, we were really involved. We wanted to see things going good. So I said I would do it. And he asked me to put together a budget, which means asked me to figure out how much money we want to spend in a year and what kind of improvements we want to do around the parks in Brookwood. And we came up with some things we want to see done. And it did come to a lot of money. It was like $7,000, which is not a lot of money when you're talking about spending something on a big place like the park. I went to the council meetings like the mayor asked me to do. And I made my presentation. I was so proud of myself. I thought I got really good. And one of the council members, when I got through, he looked at me and he said, "Boy," he said, we'll lock these gates out here and let cattle graze on these fields before I leave you to what to do with that. And it was like he didn't hear me. And that sort of upset me. And I thought, that's not right. That's not the type of attitude somebody should have when somebody is sincerely trying to get something done to better the community. So,
Can I interrupt just a second? Can you tell them what the park board does?
yeah, the park board, they oversee how the whole park runs, like how the baseball program runs, how the basketball program runs, football program.
Any of y'all associate with any of those things? Football, basketball? Mm-hmm. So that's what he was doing. He was trying to get money
Yep.
to help.
I think the big thing we were doing back then is, our little playground areas were pretty small, and we were trying to get them bigger and make them better. Well, we got a pretty cool playground, at the park. We've been out to other parks, ours is pretty cool. That was the big thing we were trying to do. We were really pushing for these playgrounds. But I didn't think it was really the right way to respond to somebody that was trying to make the park and the community a better place to live. So the next time the election came up, I decided I would run for the city council job and see if I could make a difference. And I won, and I've been doing it ever since. That's been about 20 years ago. But when you see something that needs done, and you feel like you can make a difference, sometimes it's a good thing to step out and do it. Didn't mean to bore you back too, but you okay with it? Okay. All right, anybody got anything else that they can say about being a good citizen? There's something else I want to read to y'all. And I noticed, Connor said something about 4th of July a while ago and Declaration of Independence. That's, that happened on 4th of July. That's what we really celebrate a lot on there. There's another thing that's very important to us, and that's our U.S. Constitution. And the very opening part of the Constitution is called the preamble. Y'all ever studied that in school? The preamble to the Constitution? Well, I was going to read that to y'all and just sort of let's talk about that just a little bit, because if you do the things in this preamble, it really points toward good citizenship. It says, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. What does justice mean? That's right, to know the laws, to obey the laws, and sadly for some people you have to enforce the laws. Some people have to, if you don't obey the laws, then some people have to be punished. That's not a good thing, but that's part of our Constitution.
Is it justice just for the good-looking people? Is it justice just for the rich? Is it justice just for the people that have houses? Okay. So is it important for us?
That's right.
Keep going.
To ensure domestic tranquility. What does that mean? Nothing there? You got nothing? What does it mean to be tranquil?
Peaceful.
Peaceful, that's exactly right. Free of agitation. And domestic tranquility, that means here at home, in our own country. That means we're not worried about what's going on too much in China or Iraq or nothing like that. We need to make sure that our Constitution tells us that we need to ensure peaceful relationships in our country. It says provide for the common defense. What does that mean?
Keep everybody
Safe.
protect others.
Protect others, that's right. Which means that sometimes we have to have a defense force, like, what's sort of our defense force?
Police.
What else?
Armed forces.
That's exactly right. The Army, the Marines, the Navy. And, as you guys get older, y'all might decide that that's something y'all want to do.
I just want to use guns.
Well, with the rights come responsibilities. So you have to go both ways. Promote the general welfare. What's welfare mean? I bet y'all won't give me a bad one. What's welfare?
Insurance company. Insurance company.
A lot of times when we think about welfare, we think about people who just get something for nothing. That's why a lot of people, that's promote the general, and I'm not going to use the word welfare this time, happiness, health, and good fortune. That's what our forefathers wanted us to have. As good citizens, they want us to be happy and have good fortune. That's why we came to this country. And it says to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. What's that word thing?
Say it in English, please.
Posterity.
I should say it in English.
Anybody
You
else
got
have an
nothing,
idea?
right? You got nothing to give, huh? No, I would have never figured it out.
Wait, what is it?
Posterity. But it says secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our,
Oh, wait, our peacefulness? Freedom.
how about for the people who come after us? The future generations. See, there's other people that fought and died for this country so that you and I can have our freedom. And part of our responsibility is to make sure that we take care of our country so that the next generation of people can enjoy these same freedoms that we enjoy. It says that to establish the Constitution of the United States. That's what our preamble is. And I'm going to tell you, I think that's a pretty bold statement up there. And if we could live by that and try to ensure those kind of things, then we will be good citizens. There's one other little quote I was going to leave y'all in closing, and I'll turn this back over to Miss Mary. Anybody ever heard of who John F. Kennedy is?
Yes.
Well, he was our 35th president. And everybody remembers him a lot because, he got killed. But he said something. He did. He said something that was really, really profound. It says, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. So, as you guys look at being good citizens, and you look at all these great things that we enjoy every day, just remember that part of your responsibility is to make sure that the next generation of people can enjoy these same things too. All right? Well, I enjoyed speaking to you guys. Hope you learned a little bit of something.
Why don't we tell Mr. Bill some of the things that scouts do to practice some of these things he's talking about? What are some things that we do?
Leave no trace.
Leave no trace. That's exactly what I was thinking. Mr. Bill doesn't know what leave no trace is, so tell him what that is.
If we see trash, or if we have trash anywhere, then we have to pick it up. And,
Leave nothing but take nothing but pictures, but nothing but
I like that.
and if the place is already trashy, then we have to clean it up.
That's good. Mary, did you tell me that y'all were doing some sort of like a adopt a mile thing somewhere?
We are. Sometime next month, we've got to get the Saturday nailed down that we're going to do it. But our troop actually has adopted a mile of Highway 216 that we're supposed to be responsible for picking up trash. Now, I didn't know that because, like y'all, I'm new to the troop. Just learned about this last week. But one Saturday next month, we're going to take a Saturday. We're going to get some reflective vests to put on and some trash bags, and we're going to go down and we're going to pick up trash all along Highway 216. Okay? What's another thing that y'all have done? Some of y'all did it as Cub Scouts. What's another thing y'all did several years in a row?
renew our rivers.
Renew our rivers. Tell Mr. Bill what that is.
When we go pick up on the Brookwood River.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, taking care of the environment is important. It's a big deal.
That's what
Trees give us air.
what he's talking about for ourselves and our posterity. If you're trashing up, if you're making a mess at the campgrounds and at the rivers and throwing trash everywhere, then the people who come behind you, are they going to be able to enjoy it? No, because all they're going to see is a bunch of trash.
They're going to be stuck picking it up.
Picking it up or stepping over it. One, two.
Hey,
Okay. I haven't heard much from Casper and Max and Aubrey. I want to hear a little bit from them. What's something else that Scouts do?
How about Cash for Kids?
What was that? Casper, I know you did that. Max, I think you did it too. What's Cast for Kids? What's a cast when you cast? No.
Casper, It's been quite a few years.
It has been a few years. Chris reminded me.
It's when you fish for kids.
You take,
No, we didn't change. What we do?
people, parents of disabled children take it to one of the locks, and they have this big fishing tournament, and fishermen come out and let
Professional fishermen.
pro fishermen come out and let the kids with disabilities on their boat when they take them fishing.
And what did we do when we did it, Aaron? When do you remember what we did? We didn't. Some of the younger ones we helped them fish from the banks, but we also there were donations, remember, and people donated to those people, to the parents of the kids who were disabled. Did they have to pay any money? Did they have to bring a tackle box? Did they have to bring a fishing pole? So if I remember right, didn't we pass out some of that stuff?
Wait, was this before me and Max?
It was.
Going to shoot?
I think it was.
Still pretty cool.
It was awesome.
You help other people.
Seeing those kids, and they were so excited. We need to do that again. Do we know yet when that is, Mr. Murphy? Have you heard?
No, ma'am, but I can find out.
Okay.
Hey, I want to say something.
Please
I
do.
talked this out, and it's pretty interesting. It doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing. America has no official language.
It's supposed to be English.
No, in the Constitution, there is no official
In the Constitution, it doesn't say.
No, nowhere in American documents do we have an official language.
Really? Okay.
Well, that's why everybody moved to America.
That's interesting.
But you can be speaking Chinese,
Uh-huh.
and, well, that's
I think they need to
one of
change that.
our many.
That everybody that moves here needs to speak English, so everybody can understand.
But how do we get that changed? Michelle brought up a good point. How do we get that changed?
You vote on it, and you get.
A petition.
Is there?
I think you would have to get an amendment to the Constitution.
Have to do an amendment to the Constitution, that's right. But how do
We
you?
don't really need that, because that makes us unique. And then there's, like, Chinatown, they like only speak Chinese. And like in front of the city.
That makes us unique.
But that
We only
makes,
speak English.
but okay, so could that be part of the freedom of speech?
Like,
Okay.
that actually might.
For it's freedom of speech to speak in your own language. Never thought about that before. Good point, Chris. Okay.
You know, we don't
I'll
ask
take that.
people to come to this country, and we ask them to come to this country and love our country and try to be a part. We don't ask them to just do away with all their culture and their heritage, because that's important to them too. Because, you know, America is a melting pot of different cultures. So it's interesting like that. We don't have an official language because we have so many languages.
In other countries, I would think they have to learn English, but here we have to learn other languages for everybody else.
Yeah.
What's another one of those freedoms that he talked about? He talked about freedom of speech. What's another freedom that we enjoy?
Freedom of choosing what job you get to go to.
When
Right to
you're
bear arms.
right to bear arms. Yep. So, you know, there's kids. I know in other countries, China is one that comes to my mind. When they are first born, they are told what they will go into. If they are going to be gymnasts, they are gymnasts from the time that they can, almost before they can even walk. And they are constantly gymnasts, and it's pushed and pushed and pushed. Whatever their field is completely pushed on them. Y'all have the freedom to choose what you want to do, what you like to do. You can choose whether or not to apply yourself in school. Now, granted, we as parents are going to see that you succeed in that choosing. But when you go and you graduate from high school, you choose whether or not to go to college, and you will choose how well to do.
Going to Auburn.
What do you want to do? Veterinarian. Chris, what do you want to do? Not sure yet? Aaron? No idea? Aubrey? You want to be a vet? Max?
Well, I'm going to start a band and that was it.
Start a band? Okay. Casper? Vet? Man, we've got a lot of vets in here. Now, see, I just knew you were going to say artist. I just knew you were going to say artist. But you know what? Some of those things that Mr. Bill talked about, like serving your country in the military, nobody mentioned that. But you know what? If there's not anybody to take care of the animals when the farmers get sick, when the people who farm and raise cattle and milk and grain and things like that, chickens, what you gonna do when the chickens get sick and you can't lay eggs?
And they can't produce fried chicken.
Well, still.
If you don't have somebody, what's your favorite food?
Bacon.
Steak.
Bacon, steak,
Chicken.
chicken?
Depends. It all comes up.
Steak.
Depends where we eat.
All right, where's steak come from?
Cows.
Cows. What you gonna do when your cow gets sick?
Eat more
Kill
bacon.
it.
Bacon? I love it. What you gonna do when your pig gets sick?
Eat chicken.
Eat chicken.
Right.
What's happening when the owl gets sick?
You know what happens?
No meat.
You get really, really sick of chicken.
If you fry it in different ways and wrap it with what bacon you have left.
Julie, you hear that?
I'm so proud.
I had chicken wrapped with bacon
She's
tonight.
our most health conscious mom. She's so good.
Oh, I had chicken wrapped with bacon tonight.
It's good stuff.
Cajun spices.
But that's the whole thing. It takes everybody doing these different jobs. Mr. Bill, during the day, he works in the coal mines. But he doesn't go underground, but sometimes he has to. But what he does is he makes sure that the machinery that runs the mines keeps going. What would happen to Brookwood if those mines weren't running?
Bye-bye. We would have a bad economy. And we would depend more on the coal.
Bad economy. So whatever it is that you're thinking of doing, Michelle, what do you do? That's
I
all
make
right.
stuff that you probably eat almost
I would
every
just
day.
ask what college.
Butter, oil,
Sesame,
anything you
so
cook
I would-
with.
She works at the
It works in foods. You gotta have, what if nobody ever made butter? Anybody like cake? Cookies? Most of the good stuff that we like to eat has butter.
Dressing,
Milk.
What if nobody works at assembly lines? Mr. Waters over there works at Mercedes. Anybody like to drive a car? What's Julie do? What's Julie do?
She teaches science
She teaches science.
and Sky actually.
What's Mary Beth do?
a nurse.
Helps in the hospital. That's right. All those things that these different people do, it takes to keep a community going. If everybody decided not to do those things anymore, we'd be in serious trouble. That's
Mary
Mary.
did.
Mary helps people get money.
She keeps up with everything.
But it's all important. It's all important. Picking up trash, not throwing your trash outside, all those things are important. What if we didn't have a park board to run the GG Garden?
Then we would have a lot more weeds and a lot more dogs and a lot more people.
But I had to.
And a lot more, and you would have a whole lot more games. You would have a whole lot more games on your driveway instead of being able to go to the GG Garden and be able to play.
Right?
What about football? If there wasn't a park board, if there wasn't a town council running a park board, all these football games that we love to go watch, and Aaron loves to play, wouldn't happen.
We wouldn't have lakes to fish at. If we didn't have anybody to watch after them.
That's right.
Like we catching those monster catfish that actually eat you.
Game wardens, even limits. When we go fishing at the Bibb County Lake, there's limits on how many fish we can catch. You have to have those limits. Why? Because if everybody catches all the fish one day, then they can go back the next time and they won't
Then
catch
the Yetis don't have any fish.
Jeez. Or north.
All right,
I'm sorry, the wild men.
So tell me,
We have crazy bread wicks.
Aubrey, starting with you, tell me one thing that you can do to be a better citizen next week. What's one thing you can do?
Pick up trash.
Pick up trash. Max? Huh? One thing you can do to be a better citizen.
I guess use less gas.
Use less gas. Okay. Pay attention to where you're going so you're not being wasteful. Okay. Casper?
Pretty helpful.
Helpful how?
I thought they were.
I'll give you a hint. Look across the table at what Connor's got sitting in front of him. Not that. Yeah, that would be it. What is that?
What?
What is that? Huh?
Recyclable.
Recyclable. I can't say the word. Thank you. What's some things that you can recycle?
Recyclable.
Cans, thank you, Chris. Oh my gosh, that was so hard. What is something you can recycle?
Paper.
Aluminum,
Newspapers.
plastic
Newspaper.
bags,
Uniform, gyms.
plastic. You said that was a game.
What about watching, when you're brushing your teeth? We talked about this in Cubs. When you're brushing your teeth, do you leave your water running the whole time?
No, I don't.
Because that's a way to conserve, right? You're not really recycling, but you're
Waste
conserving.
money.
Is that being a good citizen?
Yes, it's also, and if you don't put it up, it's wasting money.
It is. Connor?
Walk the dogs.
Walk the dogs. Okay. How is that being a good citizen? That's being a good neighbor and having fun. How is that being a good citizen?
It's
Hoping the dogs poop.
I'm helping my community.
You are helping your community by,
walking your dogs,
and
saving them time.
you're going to have to do something else. I need better than the dogs.
Sometimes after they I can help them in their yard.
Help in your yard. Okay. What is something that helps Mr. Arlene and Mr. Larry? But what's something that you can do around their yard?
While I'm walking the dogs, I can pick up trash.
Or even when you're not walking the dogs, you can pick up trash. Who did we see last week doing that over the weekend? Were you out there? Who might not have been out there?
He may not.
Mr. Bill and Haley, instead of just enjoying themselves, they went around our neighborhood and they picked up trash.
I would do that, and if I walk into my neighbor's yard, I might not be able to walk.
They didn't walk in the yards, they just walked around on the road, just on the fence lines.
I might get
And it's
hit.
amazing how much trash you can pick up.
I would.
Chris, what's something you can do?
Wait. I had something that really kept me